Hello, friends. Welcome to the Angels and Awakening podcast. I'm your host, Julie Jancis. I have the gift of connecting with your angels, guides, and loved ones on the other side and bringing through their healing messages to you every day. I work with clients from around the world via phone, on FaceTime, Skype, and if you're in Illinois, I have a Naperville office. Today we have an angel story. Then I'm bringing through angel messages. The angels have a very fun assignment for you to complete over the weekend. It's simple, it's easy. It might take you a minute of your time, but I'm going to show you how this tool works and how it can help create deep, tremendous change within your life. It also ties to Monday's episode because in Monday's episode, we're going to go through it more deeply, but what I want to show you is the beginnings of how it works. So if you have a minute of your time this weekend, I want you to practice it if you can. And friends, I'm so excited. I have a personal story to share with you. The Angel School has outgrown the space that we were initially using. And so I worked with the Hilton DoubleTree. We have a block of rooms who are for our out-of-state travelers, those traveling from other countries. Even if you're in state and just want a discounted rate, the rate is $109 a night. The hotel photos, the location, they're all up on my website. If you go to www.jancis.com and then click on Angel School. The best part is the Angel School then just takes place right there in the hotel. The hotel is located on the border of Lisle and Naperville, and that is important because I live in an area where there are a couple of DoubleTree hotels within a very small vicinity of each other. So this is the one that's on the border of Lisle and Naperville. Space is limited for the Angel School. We only have about 10 slots left. So if you're interested in becoming a Reiki Master Teacher and learning how to connect with your angels, guides, and loved ones on the other side to bring through their healing messages to your clients, to yourself, please let me know. I'd love to get you registered for this class. You can also support this podcast by booking a private reading with me. You can book a 25-minute reading or a 55-minute reading. Just get in contact with me. All of that information is in the show notes. Now, the angel story that I'm going to read for you comes from a woman who wrote in, and she asked me to read this on the podcast. And it really, it's a phenomenal heartwarming angel story. I love all of the intricacies that come together at the end. She says, my granddaughter Emmy was born on November 20th, 2017. Mandy, my daughter-in-law, coded and started to bleed, which sent her to the ICU. She recovered, and our family's joy at her survival and Emmy's arrival turned into concern when tests revealed the presence of several holes in her heart. Further testing showed the holes were large and would require open heart surgery. The surgery could not be performed until she was big enough to survive the procedure. In the months that followed, Emmy and her family, her 2 sisters, 2 dogs, and 2 parents, tried to maintain a normal life. Unfortunately, this was made more difficult in January by the news that Emmy had gone into congestive heart failure. At this point, her mother had to take unpaid leave from her job to maintain the care which had become a full-time job. Her health took a turn for the worst when she had contracted a virus which had to completely leave her system before the surgery could be performed. She was admitted on March 3rd, my birthday, which was the worst birthday present imaginable. In the process of being hospitalized, Emmy coded twice and had contracted pneumonia, which collapsed her left lung. It was also discovered that she had bronchiomalacia, which was worsened by being put on a ventilator. The surgery was performed and was successful, but the bronchiomalacia caused her to experience several episodes of decreased oxygen, which would make her go into spasms. Because she was on a ventilator and was not supposed to move, she needed to be paralyzed. For some reason, she did not respond to normal pain medication and developed a tolerance to everything they gave her. There was a point where the medication was so strong, we were told it would have killed a normal, healthy adult. Fast forward 3 months. Emmy was finally stable enough to go home. Unfortunately, she needed to be weaned off of 12 different drugs and was also on oxygen and had an NG tube. For those of you who don't know, that is the tube that goes through your nose down to the stomach. This meant round-the-clock care by mom and dad. They were anxious to bring Emmy home, but terrified of the prospect of having to administer drugs that were now being done by the nursing staff. On the day of her release, she was given a prescription for a drug that had to be administered through her feeding tube. It was imperative that the drug be given as soon as they got home. She was released on a Sunday night, and there was only one pharmacy that could fill the prescription, which was 20 minutes away from the hospital. Her parents were beyond stressed that they would not be able to fill it in time. Eric dropped Mandy and Emmy off at home and said a prayer to my dad, who had passed away in 2001, that he would be able to make it to the pharmacy in time. He did make it, with 5 minutes to spare. And not only that, he was told that it was the last bottle of medicine in the store. Thank you, Dad. While waiting for Eric to come home, Mandy was trying to settle Emmy into her crib and looking for her bear soother that played music. Once she turned it on, something miraculous happened. The song that played on the soother was one of my dad's favorite songs, The 12th of Never. Mandy started to cry because it had never been played on that bear, nor was it on the list of songs that the toy was to play. And to this day, the bear has never played that song again. She knew then that it was my dad reassuring her that everything would be okay, and he would be beside them helping them with Emmy's recovery. Believe it or not, on the final day of Emmy's recovery, it was my birthday again. When her NG tube was removed and she was released to eat as a normal girl. I have to add that Emmy is a joy to be with. She smiles constantly and adds happiness that our family has never experienced. It is obvious to us that she will be a special young lady and do great things in her lifetime. I thank God, my angels, my dad, every day for helping us with what was the most traumatic time of our lives. And because of it, we will never take for granted what is the most important in life, our family. I just want to thank the owner of that story so much for writing it in. This story touched my heart in more ways than one. Not only did they get the signs and the reassurance that they were looking for from Spirit on the other side, from her father, but I deeply know what it's like to go through medical complications with a child, to not know if your child is going to make it through or not. And it is the most difficult thing I've ever been through in my life. So as I was reading it, I was going back to our days with Elle. Being in the hospital, having a NG tube, then a GJ tube, which instead of the stomach, it bypasses the stomach and goes down into the intestines. Having to learn to be a nurse almost myself, to be able to administer the medications and the blended food that she needed through her tube, and to do that for 3 years. Let's just take a moment, because there are so many children in hospitals right now around the world. There are children who are suffering around the world. And let's just take a moment to pray for them, to send an intention to God, of bringing through as much angelic support, as much love and light and healing to all of the children who are in hospitals, who are struggling at home, every child on this planet who needs it. Let's take 10 seconds to just pray for them. Friends, thank you for doing that with me. Thank you for sending the love and light from your heart out to children within the world. If you can, and if they come to you, and if you think about them throughout your week this week, just stop and pause in your mind and just send some love, send some healing, send some light their way. When we ask God to help others, when we ask God to work through us, to use the light of our soul to help others, it really does have a big impact. And for those of you who want to see that impact weekly, you can join us over on Facebook. It's on my personal page that I'm launching the prayer circle every Tuesday at 12:30. We also need more of your angel stories. I was also thinking, what if our community created a book filled with angel stories to spread more hope through this world? Wouldn't that be amazing? A book of angel stories. If you have a story that you want to share on this podcast, contact me. If you want to share a story in this book, or if you want me to read your story on the podcast, what you can do is send me a written copy of your angel story, like the one that I just read today, and I can share it, or we can put it up for one of the stories to be in the book. When you do this, it is helpful to be as descriptive as possible so that the readers know who and what you're talking about at all times. You can find my contact information in the show notes, but it's just Julie Jancis, my name all together, @gmail.com. Okay, so let's talk about your weekend homework from your angels. Your weekend homework is to align yourself with the emotional, vibrational frequency of your future. I want you to see the results. I want you to see what you want in the future as if it's already happened. On Monday on the podcast, we're going to be talking about all of this, how to bring the results into your life that you want and how you go about doing that. But what I want you to do right now is see this growth on a smaller term, okay? What would it be like if you said, next week, I want to have achieved this? Perhaps it's a project that you want to knock off your to-do list. Perhaps it's a conversation you want to have with someone. Maybe it's connecting with a partner or a friend. Maybe it's you just taking more time for yourself and getting into a more relaxed state of being. Maybe it's you working on your breath work and feeling like you're truly living in a higher vibration for longer stretches of time throughout your day. By the end of next week, what I want you to do is pick something. It doesn't have to be from this list. It just has to resonate most with you. Sometimes my clients ask me about this, and what happens is Spirit works with your thoughts during sessions, okay? It's whatever Spirit brought to your mind while I was talking about those different options. Now, I want you to see yourself, let's say it's next Thursday. I want you to see yourself as if you achieved your mini goal. I want you to feel the emotions of that success. You're feeling grateful, proud, happy, excited. You pick the emotion. But then what I want you to do is spend 1 minute feeling the emotion of your accomplishment. Daydream and experience your future as if what you want has already happened. When you're in that future space where you've done the breath work all week long and you're feeling more in high vibe throughout your day, what does that feel like to you? What are you experiencing within your body? Are you feeling that peace? Are you feeling that bliss, that ease? When you cross something off of your to-do list, a project that you've been wanting to knock off, and it's done, it's out of the way, how does it feel within your body? Did you feel that as I said that, you automatically got this sense of release, of let go, of, I can breathe again? Even though you haven't knocked it off, What Spirit wants to teach you to do is to transform your thoughts so that you can reach your goals and succeed at your goals. And you do that by tying yourself to future energy as if what you want has already happened. The key component of all of this, though, is emotion. If you're not feeling it, it cannot manifest for you. So living in the emotions, daydreaming about the emotions that you're really truly feeling it within your body, that is the biggest key. I also wanted to say that I've had a lot of sessions this week where different medical conditions have come up, okay? And I need you to know that I believe in looking at medicine and alternative health differently than other healers I've heard speak. Because of everything that I went through with my daughter, I know that modern day medicine is the reason that she is alive. She completely stopped eating by mouth at 3 weeks old. If there wasn't such a thing as a feeding tube, if they didn't have this modern technology of keeping people alive, my daughter would not be here today. So I know firsthand that modern day medicine does save lives. It saved my daughter's life. And today I was working with a client who told me a story about somebody very close to her in her family who only believed in alternative healing. And when I channeled that person's soul today, what I saw was just remorse, because they knew that if they had taken into account modern day medicine and added modern day medicine in with their approach of alternative healing, that person would still be here today with his kids and his grandkids. But we can't be one-sided when it comes to our approach. Is modern day medicine perfect? Absolutely not. Is there a lot that I disagree with? Yes. But is it also true at the exact same time that it is saving lives across the board? Yes. So I don't want you to think that I advocate only for alternative healing. Alternative healing methods are amazing and they do work. They do help shift people in various tremendous ways. But why do we have to look at it as one or the other? Why can't we put them in together and use both simultaneously? So I'm sorry for that rant, but I need you to know that it's okay to allow yourself to get the help that you need in this lifetime when you need it. You know, I'm always taken back to that story of the man who's shipwrecked out in the sea and he's on a raft and he's asking God for help. And 3 different boats of different sizes come through and they ask him if he wants a ride. And he says, no, God will save me. No, God will save me. No, God will save me. And he ends up passing away. And he says, God, why didn't you save me? And God turns to him and says, I sent you 3 different boats. You chose not to get on. We have to use the different resources that are available to us at all times. So work with your doctors, work with your alternative healthcare professionals, and see them as 2 lifeboats, 2 rafts that God is sending you in your lifetime. Maybe there's multiple different boats within both sectors, medical and holistic, but use both. It's okay. So friends, do your homework. If you like this podcast, please subscribe and click 5 stars on iTunes. You can also subscribe for free on my website. Go to jancis.com and go all the way to the very bottom where you can enter your name and email address. Also, don't forget, if this resonates with you, if having a session or a reading resonates with you, you can book your 25-minute or 55-minute reading on my website as well. All of the information is in the show notes. It's just Jancis, my last name.com. My friends, just pause for a second to take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. I want you to feel all of the love from your angels, your guides, your loved ones on the other side who are constantly surrounding you with peace, with bliss, with ease, who are constantly there to help guide, direct, and protect you. They want you to open up your heart to all of the unexpected blessings that they're trying to bring into your life, my friends. You are so worthy. You are so deserving. Open up your heart. Allow them to bring those blessings to you. They love you so much. I love you. Thank you for spending some time with me today. I will see you Monday, where we are going to talk about how you manifest and co-create what you want in your future. You do have a say, and we're going to talk about that Monday. Thank you, everybody. Peace, bliss, and many blessings to you.